we're just gonna do the right thing and use a wood chisel welded to an SDS bit. Oh, buddy, give it a minute. She'll thin out. This is our secret hidden swimming pool out in the middle of the woods that we're in the process of building. Have a waterfall feature when it's all said and done. That right there is a natural limestone ledge that we dug back and exposed and pressure washed off so we can have a cool floor for the shelter house and a route for the waterfall feature that's going to go into this. And that is what we did on the previous video. This is some Bedford limestone. We have tons of pallets of it. We salvaged it off of a burnt down church a few hours north of us here in Indiana. And then we did a poured concrete wall on the back side. We did 45 bags of Saccharete to get this far with it. And today we're going to finish the concrete work on this, start laying up the posts for the railing, the fence that's going to go behind this, including on the original stone bridge that we've got built over there, and hopefully get those filled with concrete and this section of everything stripped of forms, and that wall will be 100% done. That's the goal. But on the previous video, the backhoe, the cement mixer, and my motivation tested me quite a bit. Now we'll see what happens today. Step one is mixing up some more Saccharete. What a treat. They all say 80 pounds, but I swear they're getting heavier. Well, if you look right up through there, we've got an IBC tote with water in it, and that's where we're getting our water from, with a garden hose running down. Generator powered Harbor Freight mixer. Had a fella in the last video concerned about me breathing the dust in. He's right, the dust from this stuff is awful for your lungs. It's terrible for you. It's not gonna do anything good. A mask is recommended, but one trick I've learned over the years is I don't stick my face in it and inhale at the same time. You know what I mean? We dump it over here and it's okay. Wear a mask. I'm not, but I'm a terrible representation of safety. Oh, the old 3 pull. Uh-oh. The 4. The 5. Oh, no. Wait a second. Oh, it's got it. She's just tired. Definitely going to have a cold joint right here on this top layer, but the concrete is up past that block already. Well, really all I want is just some filler for whenever we lay the mortar for this capstone, and then just get the rocks beat down. That's a job for a mag float, but here we are with the steel. Got just a little bit more Saccharete to put there, but I don't think I need these anymore. I think we can go ahead and pop these out of the way. Where do I want to put them? We might use them again at some point on this project. We're just here in case this wall, and we were pouring one to try to lean out, give it something to kick to. Just put a pin in the back, that's all we did, and they never did take any pressure, so that's good. One less thing to trip over. All right, let's start laying out some columns. We got our fancy modified tape measures, like the old stick measures that I think masons probably still do use. So we're gonna PL 500 and dry stack on the way up. I just like that look better, just a personal preference, but I am gonna type S this part here. That way we can kind of get started off level. This is where we get to burn up all these little fellas. Supposed to be more of a slide action. It's not so much a tumble. It's a little bit more of what we're looking for. since we are just stacking with the PL 500. And I can make some adjustments on the way up with the glue, but it's gonna be a lot easier if I take my time and get these as perfect as possible for the start. This is your disclaimer. I'm not a professional. I just don't really want to pay for one. You know what I mean? I'd rather spend that on other fun things. We're just breaking everything. We've got the saw in there. I just don't really feel like cutting it. I don't hate the broken stone look. Nothing else about this is perfect since we're kind of matching the natural limestone around it. And in a really weird way, I think it's kind of cool that we've got finished limestone on top of raw limestone with different styles of finishing it. I think it's just kind of neat. Then we can go ahead and lay the cap over to the next column, which we just marked. The glue right here on the lip of it. And then some Type S on the back to make sure we're bringing it up level. Put the factory cut towards the back and the chisel cut lip towards the front. These corners will be a little bit tricky. It's always a little bit tricky, especially when we're using some cut size and some sides that we're just breaking with the chisel down there, because then you don't get a perfectly flat surface to try to get these posts to go up perfectly plumb, because that's what we want to do. So it's going to take me a little bit longer than I want. Everything always takes me a little bit longer than I want. Like you start the day and you're like, this is going to take me 10 minutes to do this particular project, and then it takes you 40 because everything works out great in your head, but then you get into it. I think that's just part of a DIY project. You just have to plan for that accordingly. But I am super happy with the look. It's just a raw look, you know. It's just, I think it's going to match the surroundings good. The only thing that I'm not super excited about is my rebar placement. I put it in the center of the poured wall, and I should have hugged it towards the limestone just a little bit closer because it's kind of tight on the limestone as we stack up. I forgot to take that in consideration, that there'd be block on the back side of those posts, but we're gonna make it work and it's gonna be fine. Everything is gonna be fine. We'll just keep on moving down with that plate on top, or the sill on top, whatever you want to call it. I may chalk a line across the top of that, and when it's all set and looking good, set in stone, huh? Okay, that's a literal phrase today. Then we'll chalk a line and run a chisel down it, maybe clean it up a little bit, or I may look at it and say, yeah, I'm done, you know? Well, it just depends how I'm feeling at the end of the day. So I got that sill cap, whatever you'd like to call it, done all the way around, and the bases of each one of those posts done. I'm going to go ahead and PL 500 the posts up one more course. I want to get each post above the form. That way we can put some sacrete in those in the morning. This is where cutting them would probably make sense when I'm trying to do these little skinny things here. Just hard to get a good, decent break like this. I don't know if it's a right technique, but I just don't use as much force as I would with the other ones. Yeah, see, that's part of the problem. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's see how she fits. Let's put on this. So that's as high as that one's going for now. I'm loving it. It looks good. Now we just got to finish off those. A little nature break for you. Come here, little buddy. Oh, that's okay. Horseflies have been friends with me all day. It's the following morning. It's got to be at least 20 degrees cooler today, and there's a pretty good chance of rain. And with the heat we've had, bring it on. You know, that's where I'm at. I did make a mistake though. Let's get a little flyby here, huh? That's gonna look amazing. Did make a classic mistake of, it's not gonna rain, we can just leave this out. It's not gonna hurt the mix, but gotta see if the bag will actually stay intact to the mixer. So I've got 5 bags of saccharine. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pillars. I'm just gonna put a little bit in each one. I just wanna get the column locked in to the wall. That's all we're trying to do. And then we get to do something pretty fun. I need to figure out, well, I'll explain what the next steps are gonna be through some time lapse and moving some stuff around. But the next step, it's gonna be fun, which is good. I need it. You know, you gotta do the hard work and then do some fun steps. Keeps you going. That'll work, huh? All right, today's gonna be our day. Where's my tools at? And we're gonna buzz it with this little concrete vibrator. I got this little thing off Amazon from a land far away, and that battery is dead. And for no more than what I use it, it's a pretty good tool. I'll just clean the tops up a little bit. Nothing fancy. Excess goes out the backside, doesn't really matter. And we're gonna wet set. Piece of number for bar for the next section. So I got half a bag in the mixer yet, and I got 1 full bag sitting right there. Nothing's going to waste, including all this scrap and break off down below. Let me show you what I mean. Well, it can go right here with the strap. We're going to shovel up all our scraps here. And then all of these big cracks down here, we're going to fill in with material to help keep from washing out and just maintaining what it looks like now. So we're just going to dump all this stuff in here. Then we'll take that last bag of concrete we have and pour over top of it, lock it all into place. And we'll end up doing that. I want to go all the way past, doing it like that, all the way past where that rock is. Don't forget we got that wall we got to build and get that all filled in too. But it should look all nice and neat when it's all said and done. Put some stone there. So this is kind of cool. First empty limestone pallet. I don't think we're saving this one though. I think this one's going to the burn pile. No, I don't know. Could make a cool coffee table. So if you guys remember, one of the main features we're wanting is a waterfall off of this rock ledge here on the back. And I think that should work out pretty well. This section of limestone is pretty fragmented. There's some big cracks. You guys can see that. And I think it's going to work out into our favor because that gives us a route for our piping that we need to do. But what I need to figure out is, one, does the pool pump that I have, this is an old pool pump off of an old Intech pool that we had years ago. And it was fun and all, we just never really used it as much as we thought we would. But we saved the pump because I thought I might use it in the future, and hopefully we can tag a saltwater system onto this sand filter and that'll work for the pool we're building down here. But I need to know, one, will it have enough oomph behind it to pump water up to where this waterfall is going to go? And if it does, what's that flow look like, and how's that waterfall going to flow out of here? I kind of want to half-butted get this waterfall mocked up, because I need to know where we dig out underneath this and where that waterfall is going to land, because that's going to determine the material we need for the next step, or one of the next steps, and it allows us to start getting that stuff rounded up. We have an immense amount of split face block already that I plan on stacking like landscaping block, flat, not height-wise, because I don't think there'll be enough strength, but face-wise, flat on its face, and use that for the wall for the pool down below. I just need to see if I have enough, and if not, what I need to get gathered up. All right, so I ran down to the headquarters with the pump real quick. I'm gonna need some hose to get this up to where we want, just something to kind of rig up, and I've got this stuff sitting down here. Somebody noticed this on the previous video, this little accordion gate. The insurance company wanted this thing more secure. Yeah, we managed to get this thing insured with the work that we did. It means this building's an equitable asset. That's a fancy word for, it's kind of like having money. Anywho, we got this cool accordion gate to go with it. How fancy is that? Huh? Vevor hooked us up on that one again. Vevor's been pretty dang good to us, not gonna lie. Wonder if they got anything we can use on this pool build. I'll have to look into it, but pretty dang handy. Not bad. Secured building. They had all kinds of sizes too. I've still got the man doors on the other sides. I think I'm just gonna throw some OSB over and be done with that until we actually do the wall replacement down here. But they got tons of different sizes, so a little bit of inexpensive security. Can't beat that. Link in the description if you want to check it out. If you don't, you know, don't. You guys know how that works. I will give you a sneak peek real quick, because we do have some work coming up down here. This big sycamore is next on the list to come out. All this brush is coming out. We're doing a little bit of grade work so we can get proper drainage away from this wall, so we can get all the grade work done down here, because that has to happen before we do that work. We've got some stuff coming up. We've got several partnerships worked out to pay for all this work. The YouTube yacht comes off the YouTube yacht revenue. I don't want to pull any revenue from that to work on this, so we're doing all partnerships on this project, and we've got some worked out. So in the next few weeks, you should see some more headquarters builds. Builds? That's not right. Videos. You'll see some more headquarters videos. Creeper or ivy? Creeper. Good. That's good. So the idea is that the pump will be in this area here. We'll notch this out, make a little shelf for the pump and stuff to sit on this section, and then pipe up around to the waterfall. That way it's closest to where the waterfall is at. But the actual elevation is gonna be more similar to this whenever it's sitting where it's gonna be sitting. So we'll set it up here to simulate the height that it has to push that, which it's not a lot, but a fella's just curious. Because if this plan doesn't work, then we gotta come up with the plan. What plan are we on right now? And I can't emphasize enough that this is not the final plumbing pipe we're using. This is just to mock it up. Every time we mock something up, someone always wants to let you know that's not gonna work for the long term. You know, it's the whole point of a mock-up, you know? I guess the fun thing about this is I don't even know if this thing works. So I found some conduit, and this stuff fits way better on the other hose. All right, back at you here. They fit perfect in this hose. A little lube to put on there. Try a little oil. She's still a little tight. Let's see if we can shave her a little bit here. Put some water in this thing and see if she turns on. The display is illuminated, but we're not getting anything out of it. Well, I don't know what I did. Up, down, left, right, triangle, square, but it's on. We could fill the hose from the other end too. Put a little back pressure on it. I'm gonna pour some water from this end. That's gonna be tricky. Got my hose holder. Oh, buddy. I'm not saying I'd fight a fire with it, but it ain't bad. Let's see, so this crack right here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the edge of the limestone. There's the edge of the limestone. And then there's a crack around that one too. So the idea, pump sitting there, we'd trench in a pipe and come down, trench in here. So the water is gonna come out, the pipe will come out right there. Let's simulate that. We'll move the hose where it would be. Maybe out just a little further like that. And then we'll stack some stones in here and hide that outflow. It looks like a spring coming out of the hill, you know. See what it looks like from the bottom side. Well, if that's just not a magical oasis, I don't know what is. How cool is that? I feel like it needs to be further out this way so it comes off of that ledge more. I think that looks better. I like that flow pattern a little nicer. We gotta do something cool real quick. Let's spice it up for the thumbnail, you know? Let's add a little blue bayou to it just to make her pop, huh? Oh no, we lost prime at the worst possible moment. You're ruining my shot. Okay. Sure, that'll be fine. We going again? We're going. Give it a minute. She'll thin out. We'll let that cook just a little bit more because we can. Let's get those forms at least pulled off that wall. Remember, I used rebar to just pin that down to that limestone. Kind of makes it tough to pull off of there. Now, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do the right thing and use a wood chisel welded to an SDS bit. And then we just got some screws here. I think we'll be good to start popping these out. Not bad for a Saccrete wall. Looks like she vibrated together pretty good. We got that cold joint there, which we knew we'd have. About the main portion of the wall, she looks really nice. We got something holding on the bottom here. And we'll drop this block down, and then when I push on it, it'll help push that bottom out. There it goes. Oh! Just had to get it broke off there. We got her now. It's kind of hard not to smile at that. Answer a couple questions I know you guys are going to have real quick. Black locust. We're going to go cut some 3-inch, 4-inch black locust down on the property and run it between here. I want a timber railing because we've got a timber shelter house, so it kind of ties everything together. I think it'll look really good. As far as the stairs go right here. Imagine the last tread lengthwise like this. Airplane. Oh, I was distracted. Imagine the tread like this coming out onto the limestone area, and then it'll kind of spiral, curve its way around to here and into a walkway around this backside. That's what determines the final height of those. I don't want to make them too tall to where it's taller than your head, but I need to be tall enough that we're above the required height for a guardrail, even though this is technically a trail, and even though I said guardrail instead of handrail, but you know what I mean. And then there'll be another retaining wall, not as extensive as this one, up on that backside, and then just whatever is going on up there. So walkway around, spiral down into this. And as far as power goes, solar panels on top of the shelter house with a solar generator in the shelter house for no more than this thing has to run. And the fact we're using it in the summertime, which is the maximum amount of sun, I think we can get a solar generator system to work. If not, I don't know, kids on a wheel, you know, something like that. We'll put a bike up here and you can pedal it for the pump if you want the waterfall.